Rising Tensions by Stephen Meehan. Tarian rushed into the infirmary and seized Keldon's hand.
What's his status?
The doctor wrapped his arms around his pad as he sighed.
The odds aren't good.
Tarian's brow knotted as he shut his eyes.
Spit it out, Dalton.
With another sigh, Dalton dropped the pad onto the bed and nudged Tarian's shoulder.
He's not going to make it.
I want to find whatever did this to him.
Tarian rounded the bed and grabbed the doctor's shirt, pulling him onto his toes.
Caleb, what do we know?
Nothing.
Caleb said, pulling Tarian off the doctor. He patted his chest.
Keldon was the only member of his team to survive, and he never told us where they went.
He paused, glancing down at the injured man.
Don't forget, the elves are the only reason he's here.
Tarian slumped into the nearest chair.
I need answers.
Neither of us has any.
Caleb said. A thunderous clap tore through the infirmary as Tarian climbed to his feet. He pulled up right next to the doctor as his lips quivered.
Save his life.
Dalton glanced from Tarian to Keldon as he wiped his brow.
I'll do what I can.
Do it.
Tarian whirled around and stormed out of the infirmary with Caleb in tow. The two crossed half the barren field inside the defenses when Lloyd caught up with them. Huffing, he straightened, clutching his chest as he forced the barely audible words out between breaths.
Tarian, message, dwarves, just arrived.
Tarian stopped and asked.
Is Fitik among them?
No.
Lloyd said. Tarian clenched his fists and turned sharply.
I assume they're waiting in the main hall.
As Tarian stormed off toward the hall, Lloyd grabbed Caleb's arm.
Tell Tarian that he should speak with Harbeck.
When Tarian reached the hall's entrance, Caleb passed on Lloyd's message. Tarian approached the 5 dwarves, who were sharpening their axes. However, before he could speak, the broad-shouldered one looked up from his weapon and grinned. He laid his weapon down and rushed to meet Tarian.
I wish we were here with better news.
Harbeck?
Tarian asked.
Yes.
The red-headed dwarf said. He pulled Tarian closer.
Is Keldon going to recover?
The doctor isn't sure he'll survive.
Tarian's fists clenched, nails biting, until a bead of blood welled around his nails. Tarian shook his head.
Do you all know anything about his attacker?
Harbeck's frown deepened.
No, we don't. In fact, it's the reason we came. We were hoping you knew something.
Have you asked the elves?
Tarian forced his hands open before cleaning his fingers on his pants.
They're the ones who found him.
We have.
Harbeck said.
However, they've been less than helpful.
What do you mean?
Tarian asked, prying his eyes open.
You're not suggesting the elves are behind this.
No.
Harbeck said as he ran his fingers through his beard. After an awkward moment, he cleared his throat.
We're here because Fitik's suffering the same fate at the hands of these cowards.
Tarian pressed his palms to his eyes.
Fitik championed this alliance because he didn't want the elves to show you up.
Aye.
Harbeck grunted.
But don't worry, Fitik's recovering.
Wasn't the injury serious?
Tarian asked as he lowered his hands.
I didn't say that.
Harbeck said it. Tarian stepped in, his brow furrowing.
If it's severe, why aren't you worried about his survival?
Harbeck thumped his chest and grinned.
We're hardier than you are.
Can we collect a blood sample from Fitik? There's a chance you dwarves have a natural immunity we can leverage.
Harbeck stroked his beard.
Keldon is a good man. We'll do what we can. If you're convinced it'll help, you may have some of my blood.
Tarian's eyes darted around the gathered dwarves. He pulled Harbeck away from the others and asked,
Can we get a sample of Fitik's blood?
Harbeck hesitated, glancing about before settling onto Tarian.
Why?
If the same attacker went after him, his blood might hold the key.
I can't speak for him,
Harbeck said, stepping away from Tarian.
but I'll ask him to provide a sample.
Thank you.
Tarian whimpered, pulling the dwarf into a hug. As Tarian released him, the doors flung inward, and Variel glided into the room. He strode over to Tarian and offered a vial.
I'm aware of the attacks.
Lloyd leaned against the door, waving.
Tarian, Variel wants to talk with you.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Tarian said as he took the vial. He held it to the light, examining the pale liquid.
What'll this do?
The vial should help to inoculate and cure those stricken by these newest monsters.
Variel said. Harbeck gnashed his teeth and stormed forward.
How long have you had that?
We developed the cure after capturing one of the creatures.
Variel said, not even glancing at Harbeck's glare.
How much will Keldon need to recover?
Tarian asked, his eyes sparkling.
A single drop.
Variel said. Nodding, Tarian addressed Harbeck.
If you'll excuse me, Keldon needs this.
The dwarf nodded, reclaiming his weapon before resuming to sharpen it.
If this works, we'll send some with you to help your people, Harbeck.
Tarian said, rushing from the hall. When he reached the infirmary, Tarian grabbed Dalton and forced him to administer the potential cure. Within moments, Keldon's eyes snapped open, and he gasped for air. When he stilled, he asked,
"What happened?"
Tarian's mouth curled into a smile.
We were hoping you'd tell us.
Keldon shook his head.
The last thing I remember is passing by a couple of elves on the way back.
Tarian's brow furrowed as his gaze flicked toward the hall. After a moment, he forced the thought aside.
Forget about the questions. All you need is rest.
That I can do.
Keldon said, closing his eyes. Tarian raised a hand to silence the doctor before he rushed back to the main hall. After thanking Variel, he pulled him aside as the dwarves tended to their gear.
I need you to tell me everything.
With that, our story concludes. I hope you've enjoyed today's reprieve from your daily grind. If you like the vibe, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because every bit helps get this channel spread to those who require a momentary chance to unwind. I'll see you for the next tale, my friends.
Thanks for reaching the end of the video. But why not keep the rhythm going? Pick one of the videos on screen and settle in for another moment of escape. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and tap the bell to get notified when new tales drop.